A few weeks after the extraordinary encounter with Connie continued to be more and more extraordinary as God drew our hearts together. Again, on a Saturday morning, I was studying in my dorm room, and I can remember just feeling a presence of the Lord. And I didn't hear anything, but I spoke words myself. And I just basically said, I want to preach. And that's what I want to do. It was like I'm not supposed to be a math teacher at a university level. That was my goal, but rather I was to be a preacher, and that's how it started. And then it was very clear that it had to do with being a missionary, ministering outside of our home country and our country. I was including Connie in that, hopefully. Anyway, the Lord reminded me of when I was 12 years old and had been at a summer camp, Camp Cedar Crest in Southern California, and had believed, I felt that I'd been called to be a missionary. And I remember going home telling my parents, and they were very supportive. My dad's a pastor, and mom and dad had pastored for years and years, and they just said, look, if this is the Lord, just grow up, and at the right time, he'll show you what to do. And so that's kind of where I had been all that time. Being good in math, I kind of went that route, but here I was now, confronted by this sense of calling that took me back to when I was 12 years old in that summer camp. So I guess another thing that brought it to that point where, because there was a decision that had to be made relative to my scholarships. I had the forms on my desk to renew all of them, and I just turned them down and sealed the envelope and went and dropped it in the office. Was closed on that by the time I got there anyway, and it threw the mail slot on the glass door, and a couple other letters were in there. I just put mine in, and then I thought, what have I done? So I wasn't totally doubting myself, but it's kind of a final thing when you throw that in there. They look at that, then it's over. So I thought, well, at least I can get here Monday morning when they open up and say, hey, give me that back. If in fact I haven't heard the Lord. But that Sunday in the service, there was a guy that came up to me who he and his wife were friends with Connie, and I got to know them as well. And no one knew, what I was experiencing. And he said to me, his name was Bill, and Billy says, Jim, are you struggling with a call to ministry? Why would you say that? So I just had a sense that you in ministry, and I didn't know where you were at in that regard, and I don't want to put anything on you. I'm just what I was sensing as I was praying. So I told him about my experience, and it seemed like an affirmation, and so that was kind of helpful actually that happened. And then later, soon after that, the dean of students at Life Bible College at that time was Jack Hayford, and Jack came out and spoke in the church, and that there was something there, that furthered. Yeah, I need to go be a part of whatever's going on there at Life Bible College, and so I went. I transferred over and found out they don't give you scholarships to study the Bible. I got $25 my first year. But my mom came to the rescue and bought all my books for the time that I was at the Bible College. Connie transferred to UCLA to be nearer to me and was there for a year, my first year at Bible College, second year in college. And then we got married, and she stayed out a year and worked full time, and then came and joined me, and we graduated together from Bible College and were ordained or licensed to minister the gospel in June of 1971. And then I think it was February of 73 that we were together ordained to the ministry. And really, it's just kind of a service, but I think a lot of people kind of write that off as not that important. But for us, it was, we made it something important. Saying this is we're declaring that this is what we want to do with our lives. Of all the things we could do, this is what we feel God's called us to do. So we're going to pursue it with all of our hearts and get overseas as soon as the Lord opens the door for that. So that was a good year for me at UC Riverside. God confirmed my call and changed the trajectory of my life as we moved to the Bible college. He became a Connie as a life's partner, and that was really a good year. And I've had a few since then in ministry and with my wife, with Connie. So that's the story. That's an extraordinary encounter. I mean, they just, it all happened together after that. And I'm grateful to the Lord that I had Connie to share these extraordinary encounters with. I've got more to share with you, and I'm going to pick up where I left off. I think I've got about 34 or 35 out there before the last one and this one. And so stay tuned. God bless you.